let's take a look at callings for the One Ring role-playing game. Callings are actually kind of like the character classes you'd see in some other role-playing games, where their culture provides the basis of the character, giving the attributes and the starting skills and whatnot. Callings is the character class, what type of player you're going to play. Is it going to be a warrior? Is it going to be some type of a leader, scholar, treasure hunter, that type of thing. There are 6 callings available. Any culture can have any of the callings. That's up to you as the player. Some cultures or some callings match cultures better than others, and we'll go through what I think which callings kind of match up with the cultures that are available officially. So let's take a look. So each of the callings actually gives the players, gives the added bonus of increasing your favorite skills, providing an added distinctive leadership, but then also adding an element that the lore master can use that is a part of the shadow mechanics and for the One Ring. As your character gains an experience and adventures more, they may be drawn into the shadow path and bouts of badness, and the character eventually, if it happens too much, becomes unplayable and becomes an NPC for the lore master to use. Let's first take a look at Captain. The captain is the leader of a militia, leader of the army, kind of the Boromirs of your company. When the world is on the brink of ruin, it is the duty of all individuals of worth to rise and take the lead, whatever the risk. So if you're looking at a kind of a Boromir type of character, Faramir, that captain is who you're going to look for. Favorite skills. So you're going to choose 2 skills among Battle, Enhearten, and Persuade, and mark them on your character sheet as favored. Adding the distinctive leadership feature to your character as well. You possess the ability to direct others to action. When under pressure, other people naturally turn to your guidance. So anytime they're using a skill, and such as Enhearten or Battle, and you think you're providing some form of leadership, the Lore Master may grant you the extra 1d when or becoming inspired because of this distinctive leadership feature, adding that 1d when you spend that point of hope, the extra 1d. The shadow path is lure of power. When individuals are given a position of authority, either by rank, lineage, or stature, they may end up making or mistaking their own aggrandizement for the greater good of the people they should be guiding or keeping safe. So basically, you start to become overcome with the lure of the power that bestows somebody that's of the highest rank in a captain. Kind of what happened to Boromir as the ring started to tempt him more and more. So which cultures suit captains the best? Well, if you take a look at the skills that are available that are increasing and favored, and you look at the starting ranks that you already have in them, Bardings and Men of Bree actually make great captains. Not saying the others don't as well, but when you look at the starting ranks in the skills, Captain seems to fit more of the Bardings and Men of Bree. Let's take a look at Champion. So the champions are people that rise up outside of a military calling, go to adventure to fight off the encroaching shadow. And these could be your Gimlis. Could even be argued that Legolas is a champion. Frodo could be a champion. Samwise definitely is a champion type figure. Your favorite skills, you choose 2 between athletics, awe, and hunting, and you mark them favored on your character sheet. Enemy lore is your distinctive feature. So enemy lore is not a single distinctive feature. You must select the type of enemies it applies to. So you only get to select 1. So it could be evil men, orcs, spiders, trolls, wargs, and undead. Speak to your lore master, see what kind of fits the culture that you have, what you've chosen, what's their kind of adversary, their enemy that they always faced historically. Choose one of those. So if you pick a Hobbit of the Shire, wolves, goblins could be one of those enemies that you're chosen. If it's the elves of Mirkwood, spiders and orcs, of course, could be one of those could be chosen. So talk with your lore master, discuss that. Curse of Vengeance is the shadow path that your player leads as you start to gain shadow and have bouts of madness. Basically, as you progress, you become more angered and more vigilant, seeking vengeance and revenge against those that have hurt you and your families. So that's something to keep an eye on as you play through. Bards, the Bardings, Elves of Linden, Rangers, Elves of Mirkwood, and Beornings make great champion characters. Messengers is your next calling. The wise hold that evil days lie ahead, and that to keep hope, all who fight the enemy must be as one. You have decided that it is your duty to travel to distant lands, carrying tidings and warning people of the coming danger. In light of that, your favorite skills are courtesy, song, and travel. And again, pick 2, mark those as favored. Folklore is your distinctive feature. You possess some knowledge of the many traditional customs, beliefs, and stories of the various communities that compose the free peoples. So this kind of gives you the sense that, Merry and Pippin could actually be messenger. That could be their calling, actually. Merry for sure, because of his lore of the old forests, his lore of the Ents and the Entwives, but also of Pippin, who recites songs and stories, especially when he was in Gondor with Denethor, for instance. Shadow Path, Wandering Madness. Traveling afar might be the duty chosen by the messenger, but it carries risk of never finding a place to fight for. The road goes ever on and on, it's true, but whether then? So basically, as you go down through those bouts of madness and gaining more and more shadow, you just tend to be lost. Bardings, Dwarves of Durin's Folk, the Men of Bree, and High Elves of Rivendell make actually great messengers. And again, even though I gave you Merry and Pippin as an example of it, it does not necessarily mean hobbits are not the best for messengers, but generally those previous 4 make for great messengers. Let's take a look at the Scholar. So the Scholar is the people that seek out the knowledge, seek out the tales, seek out those maps of the time previous to when they were born. They may know more languages as well because of it. For you, knowledge makes the wild world a less threatening place. Yellowed maps in the lost books replace a fear of the unknown with curiosity and wonder. Songs composed in ages past strengthen the weariest of hearts. You can choose 2 skills and mark them favored between craft, lore, and riddle. Rhymes of Lore is the added distinctive feature. Rhymes of Lore are the short verses created by many cultures to help them remembering significant facts from ancient history, which might otherwise be lost. Scholars in Middle-earth credit much of their ancient knowledge to such rhymes and stories. Lure of Secrets is the shadow path. As you delve deeper and deeper into these stories, you might become actually increased wary or just even sucked into and getting lost out into the wilds, into a dungeon, not being able to escape from it as you increase the shadow within your heart, and it lures you to those secrets and into those dangerous paths. Dwarves, Elves of Linden, High Elves of Rivendell, and the Dwarves of Norgron and Belagos make for great scholars. Treasure Hunter is your quintessential rogue, burglar type character. You're basically seeking fame and fortune, essentially, and the lost treasures that could be found in any of the ancient ruins of Eriador from the 1st, 2nd, and even the early 3rd ages. You get to choose 2 skills, Explore, Scan, and Strength. Mark them as favored. You get an additional distinctive feature called Burglary. So this venerable talent includes pickpocketing, lockpicking, and in general, any shadowy way to get a hold of the possessions of others or access protected areas. And because of your lure to find treasures, dragging sickness is the shadow path that you take if you take this calling. And basically, as you gain shadow and you have bouts of madness, and the lure and the glitter of the gold causes you to become like a dragon. You're just sick and you just want more and more of the treasure, even getting to the point you actually might even steal from your own company. So keep an eye on that if you choose a treasure hunter. The dwarves, any of the dwarves cultures available, the hobbits of the Shire, men of Bree, rangers even, elves of Mirkwood, and the woodmen of the Wilderland, surprisingly, make actually for great treasure hunters. The last and next culture is the warden. In this age of the world, when shadows grow deeper with every passing year, you have sworn to defend all who cannot defend themselves. Often your choice forces you to forsake civilized areas to better guide their inhabitants from what lurks right outside their fences. Rangers of the North, of course, obviously make great wardens, so your striders. Your awareness, healing, and insight is your favorite skill, so you mark 2 as favored. Shadow lore is your distinctive feature. You have recognized that there are a hidden thread unifying most of what is malicious, dark, and terrible in Middle-earth, and that the thread is thickening year after year. So you get to have an increased insight in the encroaching shadow and what drives evil. But your fight and constant struggle against the shadow and the evil of the world causes you to go down the path of despair, and that's your shadow path. Self-doubt is often the way that the shadow chooses to reach the heart of those who oppose it. Every day they ask themselves, will my strength be enough to prevail, or will I drag down the innocent in defeat? So as you progress down the bouts of madness, as you fight the shadow and gain more of the shadow, you'll find yourself, basically, your character will just be lost in the depths of despair and cannot find the will anymore to fight. Rangers, hobbits, the elves of Linden, Bjornings, and the woodmen of the Wilderland, as well as the high elves of Rivendell, make great warden characters. So that is the 6 callings available to you as players, creating a little bit more in-depth character, a little bit of class, and kind of guiding of what it is that your adventurer has been pulled to do, leaving their home. If you like this video, hit that like button, share it with your fellow players and your lore master, your new lore masters. Make a comment if you find this video helpful, or if you had some differences in what matches callings and whatnot. Please do so. And of course, subscribe to the channel to help make this channel grow and spread the news about this great game. I'm Ryan of the North. Thank you for watching.